So I figure I'll take a second to tell you a story. See, last year I had the opportunity to go to Uganda. While there, I met a couple that operated a prayer mountain. They had a vision of owning this property. And when they first got there, they asked around if they could buy this piece of property. And everyone told them no. Because see, voodoo witch doctors have been cursing this hilltop for generations, for decades, generations, a long time. And so they started prayer walking. They started walking and praying as close as they could to this hill. The first miracle that happened was that people's minds were changed. And after a while, this couple was allowed to purchase that land. But they still have a barren piece of land. So they started prayer walking this area, just praying blessings over the land, praying that God would break down all of the curses, break down all of the strongholds that had become attached to that land. I don't even pretend to have a green thumb. However, even I noticed that all of the vegetation that was on that hill was just lush. I realized that I forgot. I actually need to start with the weed whacker. Let's go that way. And they brought it back to prayer. They brought it back to the fact that they had been prayer walking this area for the 15 to 20 years that they had owned this land. So I got to thinking, see, we have this field down here, and we weren't really utilizing it very much. But the other part was, if I let that go, that's just gonna slide away. The other part of it was that there were these sticker burrs. These things are the bane of our existence down here in the field. And in fact, because of that, like the girls and Honor and Liz didn't even want to come down into the field. And so I was the only one that was really coming down here. And I was only coming down here to periodically do something with the brush piles or to mow. What would happen if I were to start praying over this land? So instead of just thinking about it, I decided to do it. So for the last few months, I've been praying over the land, asking God to bless our land, to forgive our sins, to heal our land. And he did. Because now that we're coming out of the winter season and the grass is starting to go crazy and I'm having to mow more often, we haven't found a single sticker burr out here. God did that. But also, my mother-in-law Liz happened to notice some of this stuff here. But she noticed how the leaves of this reminded her a bit of green onion. And actually we determined that this is actually not onion, but rather wild garlic, which is apparently pretty rare. And we were able to harvest some of it, and through some new connections that my wife had made through Facebook, we were actually able to bless somebody in our community. I don't remember seeing these plants last year. So one of two things happened. Either these started growing more recently, since I've been praying over the land, or God merely opened our eyes to see what was already in our hand. And that's kind of the idea of this homesteading, and then seeing how God can bless that and can multiply it into something bigger and better. It's just like the feeding of the 5,000. There was one little boy there, apparently the only one who came prepared. He had 5 loaves, 2 fishies, but he was willing to give it. And if you notice, Jesus blessed the food. He blessed the 5 too. He thanked the Father for providing. The miracle actually happened when he thanked the Father for it. The miracle didn't happen and then he thanked the Father for it, but rather the miracle happened when he thanked the Father for it. And that's what we're trying to do in Homestead, and I'm sure that's exactly what you guys are trying to do as well. How do we look to see what's already in our hand? How do we find that 5-2, thank the Father, and then we watch him multiply it? Thank you guys for coming along on this adventure with us. We're super excited.